The project we're working on today on Rust to Resurrection is this 1973 Yamaha RT3 360 Enduro bike. Now, I've owned this bike since it was new, and about 3 years ago I pulled it out of what was a 30-year storage, and the idea was I wanted to get it back up and running. I posted an entire set of videos documenting the entire process of taking it out of storage and getting it running. And I'll post the link in the description if you're interested in watching any of the project from the beginning. The plan for today's episode is to install this plastic Preston Petty Fender that I first installed back when I bought the bike. Now, years ago I had an accident with a bike that really messed up this fender. And about a year ago I purchased some plastic welding equipment to repair it. And you can see those videos in the link that I'm leaving in the description. Well, the repair's done, and today I just want to get this thing mounted. So that's the project. So let's get started. The accident that I had was a head-on collision with a Jeep CJ5 in the dunes of a local sand pit. Now, it was a fairly low speed, low impact collision, but it was enough of an impact that it ended up doing some pretty good damage to the bike. And one of the things that first happened was the forks got twisted off, and this fork brace that sort of stabilizes and keeps the two forks parallel, it got twisted off and bent pretty good shape. And one of the first things that I did after I got the bike home and recovered it a little bit from the accident was to replace that. So this is a new fork brace. Admittedly, it's a new fork brace from almost 40 years ago. So the first thing that I've got to do is I need to position the fender and then drill a couple holes that will allow these bolts to go down through the fender and then down through the fork brace, because the fender mounts directly to the brace. Let me get some tools and we'll get started on this. So I've got my dial calipers out and I'm measuring the bolt. The bolt is 231, and when I measure the hole, depend on which way you measure it. It's a little oblong, but the hole's about 235. So I have a drill, and the drill's an A-size drill, so it's 234, which is the same size as the hole that was in it originally. So that should work. I've already positioned the fender off camera, so I've got a pretty good idea where it needs to go. The problem is that when we drilled the holes all those years ago, we weren't really very accurate about getting everything on center. So at this point, what I'm trying to do is simply get it so that it's positioned front to back correctly and looks like it's on straight to the tires or on the center line of the tires. So that's my goal here. So I've already marked them. I marked the front one in particular, and I'm going to use that front one. I'm going to bolt it down there first. And then again, I'll go back and look to make sure that my alignment is good in the back of the tire. And then I'll position and drill that next hole. Then with that positioned, I'll mark and drill that back hole as well. So let's start with the front hole. And like I said, I've already got it marked. I've got a power center punch here. And I'm just finding center to get it punched. Do that 3 or 4 times. I also have a center drill which will help position and start the hole when I use the bigger drill. Turns out that my battery powered drill was too big to fit inside here. So I had to go and get my air drill. It fits in here better. It's going to be a little bit loud, so let's see how we do. Oh, that fits really nice. Okay, we're good. So I got a couple files here and we'll pull those burrs off. So So let's mount up the front hole or front bolt on this thing. And of course it doesn't want to go through the fender. All right. All right, so you can see that I've got some movement in the back here. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. Is this is now pretty well centered, and now I want to go to the back and center the back of the fender to the tire itself. So that was pretty much a visual exercise, but it appears to be centered, and I'm okay with it because nobody's going to even know that if it's off 1/8 of an inch or something. So the next thing I want to do is, mark this. My pencil's too long. Nobody ever wants a short pencil. All right, let's pull that off. All right, got a nice mark there. Use the center punch. All right, I'm going to drill this one off camera, then I'll bring you back when I put the fender on and bolt it up. If you happen to watch the video where I repaired this or plastic welded this, the repair came out really nice. It looks pretty nice, but there is a little bit of a black line that goes across this. This end of the fender was the front originally, and this is where the impact was. This is where I hit the Jeep, crushed it, broke it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse this and put the crushed part or the repair in the back so that it's between the fork and the engine. That way it won't be as visible, won't show as much. Getting this on was going to be a trick because I had to actually tape the nut up underneath, because once I've got the fender on, there's almost no room to work. So what I'm hoping I can do is gently put this down in there, and without a lot of pressure, get my finger under there to contact the nut so that we can pick it up. And then if I can do that without losing it, oh, I am, nice, okay. So once I've got that started, then I can come in with a pair of needle nose vice grips and hopefully grab that and get it started. Again, there's no room under here at all. See how that works. All right, good. I'm going to leave that a little loose so I can sort of move this back and forth. Now the other problem is going to be doing the same thing on the back side. And I actually had to glue the washer to the nut so that I can get my finger up underneath and hold this while I find it. And I'm probably going to have to do the same thing. I'm probably going to have to put this in the vice grips and then use the vice grips to hold it in place. The only other real option is to take the whole bracket off, but that's a pain. So we're trying to do this without taking it all apart. So sometimes I just take the most difficult way to do things, you know. Like I said, I could have taken this all apart and probably would have gone a lot easier, but I think the effort would have been more to do that. So it's got it. We got it. It's now starting to tighten up. Oh, there we go. Nice. Nice and tight. All right. All right, there. All right, it's done. Oh, what a bitch that was. Let me grab the camera, give you a close-up and show you what it looks like. And then I think we'll take it out for a ride and just see what it looks like in the sun. Alright, that ends this episode. Like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you next time.